Today we're in Bristol, outside the headquarters of the TV and Licensing Centre, operated by Capita plc. Capita, huge FTSE 100 company, they make over £1 million a day profit, and yet they've offered the people who work in their TV licensing arm £550 or £650 lump sums. It's a paltry sum and it isn't acceptable. They're on strike today in Bristol, they're on strike in Darwin near Blackburn, and inquiry officers are on strike around the country. And this is the first 24 hours of strike action, and if Capita don't return to negotiations, there's going to be considerably more. There's been a pay negotiations going on, obviously. What's gone wrong in the meetings which has led to the strike?
Well, the fact of the matter is that there's been meetings now that have gone on for the best part of 18 months, 2 years. Capita are refusing to move their position. They've actually said said reasonably consistently now that there is no more money.
Talking to the people on the picket line, there are concerns that this ain't just about pay. Why do people have those worries?
Well, people are worried now that if Capita win this dispute and take a position where they're not going to speak to the union about pay, then Capita will gain confidence from it, and then they'll then come for flexi time, the Appendix C protection that people have got, and ultimately de-recognise the union in this building.
And people are determined that they're going to continue these strikes until they win?
The feeling in Bristol and Darwin is solid, and people are in it for the long haul. We're here to win this dispute, and CWU members are here to back this dispute.
I'm here on strike today because I feel that the company can afford to pay us a lot more than they're offering us. The managing directors of the company, there's one gentleman, Paul Pinder, who is earning £14,000 a week through his own admission, and there are people in this company that don't even earn £14,000 a year.
Everyone's here today. It is to do with the pay strike, but it is also to do with our future, because things are happening, especially next year, and there's lots of things to do with our terms and conditions and stuff like that. We're also concerned about that. So it's about protecting our future as well as the pay strike.
As soon as David Cameron took over Parliament, one of the things he did was to, whilst he cut public service jobs, he immediately handed long-term multi-billion contracts to Capita, and Capita have increased their profits over the past 3 years, like quadrupled, etc. And it makes a profit of about 1 million a day. So we know that whilst there are certain public companies who have a problem, there are private companies who benefit from that problem at the same time, because they're getting long-term contracts.
We're going to continue this action until we get what we're out for. It's no point us coming out once or twice. If they're going to stick to their grounds, we'll stick to ours. We'll stay out as long as we need to. We're not going to back down on this. It's too important. If we back down now, it's no point doing this today. We need to stand our ground and keep standing our ground until we're treated fairly. We're not going to be just brushed under the carpet.
We might have to take a long period of action over a long period of time. So we've got to be up for that, but we've got to do it in a way that is sensible, so you don't lose it all out of 1 month's salary and all the rest of it, right? So we've got to think tactically, got to think logically. What Capita have got to realise is we ain't giving up, right? We ain't going to roll over, and we ain't going to put up with what they're offering. Thanks very much for what you've done today. I'm proud to represent you. Cheers.
This has been going on for some time. Tell us how it started.
The pay was due from the 1st of October last year. We got into the negotiations. The negotiation dragged on. We then submitted a claim to make it a 2-year deal. The offer on the table, which our members have overwhelmingly rejected, is for 2 years, last October and this year. The money's simply not good enough, and we want more.
Well, clearly there's a big, well-supported strike today, but where are the negotiations going? Are there any?
There's no negotiations planned. Following today's strike action, we'll be writing to Capita to say, well, if you wish to avoid further action, we've got action planned, then the best thing for them to do is to get round the bargaining table. So we'll be urging them to do that. If they don't do that, then there'll be more strike action like this. And as you can see from the support for the members, they're up for it.
And Capita make big profits. Has that played a big part in the negotiations?
Absolutely. Capita make £1 million profit a day. Their half-yearly results are 7% up on on the previous year, and indeed they've managed to share the profits in a significant way with the directors in terms of bigger pay rises and bigger bonuses. All we're saying is for the people at the bottom, the ordinary worker at the bottom, we deserve our fair share of that. So yes, the big profits that Capita are making are playing into this in a big way.
But this is formally rejected, and the union's determined that this is going to continue till we get a win.
Well, our members are determined, and we can only do what our members want. Our members think that the offer is not good enough. They basically want more. It's not unreasonable in today's environment. Utility, gas and electricity bills are going up. Inflation will be getting on for 6% later on this week for September. Our claim is fair and reasonable, and the company is being unreasonable.
Well, that was a good day. There's a very strong picket line here in Bristol, and news is the same from Blackburn and around the country. The mood of these people is quite clear. £650, £550 pay offer for a big company making big profits. It's just not acceptable. Their mood's clear. They're not just fighting for pay, they're fighting to defend terms and conditions in the future. Capita want to take away a lot of things that they enjoy. And these people, if they're anything to go by, if Capita don't return to the negotiating table, we'll be here again soon for more strikes.